Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Johanna, and for those of you who are new here, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. Here on my channel, I do planner and planner related videos with occasional new release videos for my Etsy shops. And if that is something that is interesting to you, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that little notification bell so you will always be notified when I do load a new video. So for today's video, what we'll actually be working on is my March budget, and this is actually the actual March setup. And it sounds a little bit weird because we are at the ending of March, but if you've been following me on this budget journey, you know that I have had a little bit of struggle just trying to figure things out. And I think I'm at the place where I've figured it out and now I can actually put it on paper. Now, I know a lot of people who use the Erin Condren, and that's what this is, sort of. I took an Erin Condren, components of some dividers, monthly calendars, some Happy Planner products, and then put them on rings because the Erin Condren coil just drives me batty. So I'll link that video below how I did that, and actually we'll take this off. And because I see a lot of people who use the Erin Condren for their budgeting system also get sticker kits, I think they're really pretty, but yeah, it's not like I don't see a value in it. I'm all about making your planner or planners inviting and motivating, and if it makes you want to come back to it, and if it's pretty to boot, awesome. But I think there's just so many choices out there, and I'm all about the DIY because if I can try to make it on my own, I'm going to attempt to. And so that's what I've actually done for here. I've made myself some headers. This is just some washi right there, and I think it replicates what I've seen people do. I don't mind my own handwriting, but again, I wanted to try something different. So we're just going to put that there. It's not super fancy, but it is really cheap. And I actually, because it's sticky, but it's not very sticky, I'm just putting some clear tape over it. Now this is clear packing tape because the Scotch tape that I have is a bit cloudy, and I prefer a crystal clear tape, but I will get another tape and use that going forward. So the reason why I am doing my budget so late is because the way that I actually do my budgeting, I don't have the majority of the funds to budget with until the end of the month for the upcoming month. So I thought, okay, well, I won't do my budget until the end of the month, and then we go from there. Now, having figured out this configuration, I've realized that I can set it up and then just not put actual numbers. And I know that seems sort of like a duh kind of statement, but I mean, seriously, I really had to wrap my head around how all of this was going to work for me. Not how all this is going to work, but how I can make it so that I can figure it out. So, and this may just be too fiddly for me to carry over from month to month, but I did have it and I wanted to try it and see how I liked it. Nope, already made a mistake. Well, luckily it comes up rather easy. So the way that I'm going to do this, and I'm hoping that's in frame, is my income up here, or sort of, my expenses, and then my savings down here. Now this particular thing here with the expenses and savings, going forward I'm probably just going to write that in, or maybe I'll just use the stickers that I have and then write it in when I run out. But I actually really like the way that looks. It almost looks like I bought it. Okay, so the reason I said income sort of is I've mentioned this before and it has not changed. I do not feel comfortable sharing my actual full-time job income. I might change my mind on that, but as of right now, yeah. So what you'll see here is at each paycheck, because I do get paid twice a month, I will put what is left over after I have paid all of my bills, and that's my credit card bills, my housing expenses, all of that. So no discretionary income, it's just strictly bills. And so on the 5th, that was expected of $51.95, and that's exactly what it was. And again, that's what was left over, and that's why I thought that maybe I should wait until the end of the month to do my budgeting. But like I said, I think I've figured this out. On the 20th, the leftover is $460. And the actual was $460. Now I don't foresee these numbers to change. It might be a few cents here and there, because I do get a set amount of money every single paycheck. So as far as I know, unless I get like a bonus or a raise, which it's doubtful, I work for the state, then that's pretty much what we're working with. And then I have... And in my very first Budget With Me video, I mentioned that my zero, because I am trying to do a zero-based budget, my zero is actually $100. So in my checking account, my main checking account, I always want to keep $100. So long as I see $100 in there, then that's my zero. If I go less than that, then in the upcoming month or months, I'll need to replenish that, because I feel more comfortable having a little bit of discretionary money. So the carryover cushion, there is that 100. And I have excess so far in my cash envelope monies that I was using this month. So I used money from February to fund my cash envelopes for March. And so March I'm going to fund for April. So I want to be able to account for anything that is left over from this particular month's budget, because then I'm going to carry it forward, and I need to be able to reconcile these numbers, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a few minutes. So I've got my 2 paychecks here. I've got my carryover cushion, because again, if I do have to dip into it, I need to be able to account for it somewhere. I do have the cash envelope excess logged here, and then LaShawn from LaShawn's Life said that she always puts a miscellaneous on hers because she wants to manifest extra income, and I'm all about that. So I've got some Etsy shops. I'm trying to really focus on my blog, and so this right now I'm not going to put expected as a 0, because then I'm manifesting 0, so I'm going to leave that open. I'm going to leave this open, and then when I close out the month, I will actually close out this budget, do the recap, and then work on my April budget. I know it seems very fiddly right now, but I think it's going to work. So that's all of this up here, and again, I won't close out the actuals for these until the end of the month. So for my expenses, and again, for the expenses, you won't see any scheduled credit card bill, student loan, housing, iTunes, anything. That's already all accounted for. So this is just what I get to live with the remaining envelopes. And if you wonder why I keep pausing, I do have a cheat sheet, because I think one of the reasons I had a little bit of a breakdown the last time I tried to figure all of this out is because I just tried to wing it, and that does not work for me. So I've really just thought about that. I've really thought about my needs. I really thought about how it is that my brain works and how I want this to work for me. And that's what I've come up with here. And cushion. And then other. And so for cash envelopes from this money here, I am expecting to put in $200, and that will again fund me for April. For sinking funds, I am earmarking 100. For snowball, 145. Savings is 65. Extra debt payment, I'm not sure. Cushion. Now, how would the math work on that? I think I would put the 100. I haven't done the math, so this may not work, but we'll see. And then other, I don't have any unexpected expenses, but I will just fill that in later. Now this cash envelopes, the reason why I did put an asterisk is because these are the weeks that this is going to fund. So for the 4 weeks in April, it's going to be $50 per week, and it is less than what I had in March, which was $80 per week. And I'm hoping that's going to be doable. So the actuals I won't fill out until the end of the month, and then the difference, I will take the difference there. And then the reason why there's this gap here is because, like I said, I am attempting to do a zero-based budget. So for me, the way that I'm assuming this works is I'm going to take that remaining income, again, because this doesn't take into account any of my bills or whatever, and I'm going to subtract my expenses, and that'll be this total here, and then that will give me my overall. And if I had done this correctly, then this should always be a 0. Now for the extra debt payment, because I do round up or down, or just I round to a dollar figure, but there is change involved, what I'm going to do is do the actuals here, because the snowball and the sinking funds, the cash envelopes, that should all be even dollars, because I'm not going to walk around and change. And then if there is like a dollar something extra, then I can always throw that to debt. Again, it's not a lot of money, but it's a journey. It's not a sprint or whatever people say. So that's why I've got here 1, and then I'm going to minus 2, and then this should give me the sum of 1 minus 2. And again, the goal is to always have that at a 0. And then for savings, I am with my starting balance, and I didn't realize when I was drawing this out that I needed more boxes than I did up here, so hopefully I'll remember to do that the next time. But the reason I need more boxes is because I do have money automatically taken out of my paycheck to go towards a savings account, and so that'll be monies going in the 5th and the 20th, and I'll also do check-ins with my $5 challenge on those days as well. And at the end of the month, I will add up any $5 challenge money that I have, plus any interest that I have earned on that Discover account, to give me a true ending balance going forward into the new month. So that's why this has more columns than this up here. And so I do have a Discover card, which is an automatic debit. So it comes out of my main checking account and gets transferred there automatically. I do have my $5 challenge going on. And then there there's just, and I'm gonna actually start calling this my emergency fund because I don't have one yet. So in previous incarnations of this, I had put just savings, but I think we're going to focus on the $1,000 emergency fund, then start building up the savings fund after that happens. And I did put a note for myself down here because again, I really struggled. So I need as much notes and little tips for myself that I can, just so I remember what I'm doing from month to month. So I said if there's anything left over in the cash envelope, so when I'm getting near the end of April, if I actually have any money left from my cash envelopes, I'm going to log the actual, with the total that I've spent in cash envelope money, and then I will account for the difference by either diverting it to my snowball, to my sinking funds, to my sinking funds, to my savings, or an extra debt payment. And the priority right now is it will go to savings and or to sinking funds and or an extra debt payment. And that's how I'm envisioning that I'll be able to get from a zero here, and that, I mean, that's static, so that's, I don't foresee that. Well, no, okay, we're manifesting income, we're manifesting wealth, so I'm not going to say this is static, but yeah, I need to be able to get to zero here, or as close to. And this is totals. And this would, I know, be easier to see if I did use those budget kits, but again, this works for me. And actually, I really enjoy the layout because in one little snapshot, I can see my entire budget. And because I think I've figured it out, I can actually work on the April budget, at least section out and then do the expected columns, and then we can figure out the actual columns as a true recap at the end of April. So it'll be funny, but I'll be loading this sometime this week, the last week of March, and then probably like the 1st or 2nd of April, you'll see my April budget. I know. So let me put this back in here. Now, as I mentioned in my last cash envelope video, I did not realize, and it's dumb, that's totally dumb on my part, how much I was actually, or I'd actually put in towards my blog, and I do it through WordPress. And I think I wanted the domain name and the thing and the something. I don't know what I was thinking, but I've paid $300, and that will renew again in November, or maybe it was January. I think it might be January. I don't know. So I'm actually going to go hard, full court press with doing my blog, because I knew I had paid into it, or I had paid some. I didn't realize it was that much. And I think the reason is I initially paid one sum, and then I wanted to upgrade to some other features, and then I paid another sum, and then I wanted to upgrade to my own domain name, and then I paid another sum, and I didn't realize collectively how all of that, what all of that costs. And you can see my numbers here. I don't have a lot of wiggle room. So when it comes up again, it's probably going to go on a credit card. Although again, we're going to manifest some extra income. Maybe the blog will make some money. Maybe the Etsy shops will make some money, because my Etsy shops are completely in the red. But whatever. We're going to manifest some positivity to get some extra income coming in here. And where I'm going with this is, by the time this video goes up, I did actually make a template of this minus the savings, because I don't know how people save if they just have the one account or 3 different like I do. So this is actually the exact same breakdown, and I will have this as a free printable in my blog, and I will link that below. And hopefully, and my entire intention of this was, one, to divert you to my blog. Check it out. it's very new. But also, I think part of the struggle that I've had is I watch so many budget videos that I want to take pieces of this and pieces of this and pieces of this, but then when I'm actually sitting down and doing it, typically it's here on film, and then my mind draws a blank, and then that gives me a lot of anxiety because I don't actually like not knowing what I'm doing. So this will be with that blog. Again, I will coordinate the timing of it so that this goes live when this does. And again, it is monthly budget. You'd put the month and the year there. You've got your income and then your different income streams, your expense and the different expenses that you have. And again, 1 minus 2, which is what that means, gives you your overall totals, just so that you can figure out. And again, I think if you are doing a zero-based budget, then that should be 0. If you're not, your income hopefully is more than your expenses. But again, this gives you just a bird's eye view of what your monthly budget might be. And again, this is a free printable on my blog, and I did do a little bit of testing. Now, this is just a regular piece of copy paper, but if in your printer settings, if you were to print this out and you did it at 85%, you could actually cut off the excess, punch some holes, and this would fit in a classic happy planner. Because even though I love the quality of the Erin Condren paper, I am a happy planner woman. I'm not a girl, I'm a woman. And so that's what my configurations are based off. So when I did this, when I sized it down to 85% of the area, then this will actually perfectly fit in here. And then if you size it down further to 70%, again, cut off the excess, this will fit in a mini happy planner. Now, this actually would also fit on an Erin Condren. I believe this is the 6x9. If you just cut it off and glued it if you wanted to. Again, you might just want to print out the one copy and then use it as a template like I do off camera so that you know where your boxes are. You might use sticker kits. I mean, whatever you use, I'm hoping this will help someone who is starting out their budgeting journey, or maybe they're trying to figure out something different. But I'm thinking something like this, and I actually will have one for my sinking funds in that video I'll be doing next, where it just really helps me focus on what it is that I need as of right now. And with budgeting, I think it is something that can and will and does evolve. So I'm hoping this is helpful to me. I definitely will carry this forward for April, and then at the end of maybe April or May, I'll see, does the layout work? Do I need more? Do I need less? Should savings go on here? I don't know. We're figuring this out together. So this is my March budget. I know, super timely. I will be doing a recap. Well, I will close out this month's March budget and then do a recap video in the next week or so. I will be doing a April budget. I also will be doing a separate video for my sinking funds because, again, since it's already past the 20th, I've already diverted that money, so I could write in the actual, but I just want to keep it clean for now. And yeah, guys, tell me what you think about this. Do you think my template and free printable is a good idea? Do you have any ideas for other kind of free printables? Because again, I'm going to go hard on my blog if just to get my money's worth for this year. Because $300, guys. Are you kidding me? I could have paid a credit card off of that. Although, no, it's okay because I paid it with a credit card, so it's not like it was real money. And that's why this is as bad as it is. Sweet. All right, guys, as always, aloha.